Hi guys, welcome to episode 1, the sugar and wine diet. I'm Christy Campbell. I'm so pumped that you're here. You are tuned in to hear about the sugar and wine diet, and I bet it's gonna be not what you think. First off, let me just say that there is zero judgment in this episode. You're gonna find that with anything that you come into the Christy May Campbell channel, you're gonna see that I am not ever going to judge you. To be honest, I actually really understand where you're at, and so I'm trying to give you some really good, tangible things that you can use in your real life, but in no way should you feel ashamed, because we're all trying to get better. We're all trying to improve ourselves, and just by you being here and watching this short 10-minute episode tells me that you're like, wait a minute, sugar and wine diet from Christy May Campbell, that doesn't make sense. What is she talking about, and how can I learn something that I can actually use? So I'm pumped that you're here. So let me explain to you what the sugar and wine diet is. It starts with waking up in the morning immediately busy and on your phone. So you wake up in the morning, you immediately get on your phone, start scrolling social media. That's the first piece of the sugar and wine diet. Then you start with the caffeine. So you might have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups of coffee. Maybe you're adding in all your favorite creamers, that kind of stuff. You're getting the juices flowing because the day's about to rock really hard. So step 2 in the sugar and wine diet is caffeinating hard before the kids, the animals, the work stuff gets in your way. You've got to fuel the tank, right? There's not really any need for breakfast because you're not super hungry. So you just get everybody ready, get them out the door, and head to work. And you feel not too hungry, but a little bit, you feel good from the caffeine per se, and maybe you want something, but not enough that you need to actually prepare it before you leave the house. But mid-morning, you start to feel that energy dump. So you're like, okay, well, I do need something. And that's where like another trip to Starbucks would be, a really important part of the sugar and wine diet. You're gonna like wanna get some kind of sugary coffee, a muffin, something like that. That fills you up. And then you head back to work for more stuff, right? Because you are the one that takes care of all the things. They're expecting you to be there. You solve the problems, right? And so you've got to be there. There's no time to like sneak something in during lunch. So you're going to eat at your desk. Whatever it is that you brought, maybe leftovers from last night, maybe you ordered in something, you've got some food, you're eating it at your desk while you're working. Then afternoon crash time comes. Sugar and wine diet does not require having sustained energy. Actually, in the afternoon, you start to feel the dump. So it's time for some more caffeine, but this is also where you get your first real dose of on-purpose sugar. That's when if you look over at your like friend's desk or whatever, you start to see those mini Snickers and they're like calling your name and you're like, I'll have a couple of those, 1, 2, 3. Maybe you go up to the desk and there's some peanut M&Ms, so you start on a couple of those. Again, maybe it's like that sugary coffee, you're like, I really need the pick-me-up. So this is where you get that first dose in your sugar and wine diet of like that boost that you need in the afternoon. So then you're on your way home, you stayed late, you got a lot of stuff done, probably more than you needed to. You stayed later than you wanted to. You thought about going to the gym after work, but it really doesn't fit in yet because you gotta hurry home to the kids because you feel bad because you work. And so you gotta hurry up so you can spend time with them and get them to their activities. And all of a sudden that hunger kicks in. You are super, super hungry. And you pick the kids up and they are maniacs. They are starving, they've got stuff to do, so you're just snacking on whatever they're eating, you're putting straight in your mouth, just to take the edge off, right? And then you figure out dinner at the last minute because you've got places to go, so either you order in, you throw something together at the last minute, and you eat a lot of it because you're really hungry. That's, part of what your daily routine is. Like you don't eat that much in the morning, but in the evening you eat a ton because you're hungry. So you feel kind of full, but you got more stuff to do. Your day is not even close to over. And here's where the wine part of the sugar and wine diet comes in. You finally sit down and everybody is gone. They are out of your hair. They're like, psh, finally, silence. And all you need is a glass of wine to take the edge off and to chill, to bring yourself down from a very busy day. You worked your butt off. This sugar and wine diet that I just described might be you or some portion of you. And obviously it's not a diet to help you lose weight. That's kind of like in jest. And I'm just kidding when I'm saying that this is like deliberate, but this is sort of the routine. those cravings that come at night. So you said like, hey, you know, I'm somebody who has a sweet tooth. I'm somebody who like has to come down a little bit at night with a glass of wine. It just takes the edge off. It feels good. That is a culmination of that entire day. So even though sugar and wine diet is kind of like a joke, it's not helping you lose weight. That's what it sounds like, you know, wouldn't that be fun if like you could have sugar and wine and that would help you lose weight? Instead, it's almost the opposite. This is how we slowly put on weight. This is how, you know, we creep a couple pounds on, then that becomes 5 pounds, and that becomes 7 and 10. And then next year that 10 stays on, and then it becomes 15, and then it becomes 20. And then all of a sudden we're like, how did I get here? This routine, this sugar and wine diet, or at least some version of that, is how we get here. And so then we get in this place where we're like, okay, well, what if I did a different diet? One that's not a joke, one that's actually gonna help me lose weight. So like, what if you did a cleanse? 21-day cleanse is an option. There's all of the shake challenges, elimination. So the ones that eliminate entire categories of food like carbs or fat. There's all of these different diets, but you're building it off of your sugar and wine diet. So those habits are what are in place. And so then you try one of these, which are not really sustainable. Again, not bad or good. I don't want you to feel guilty or weird about the fact that you've tried these, but these aren't sustainable for you. And we try to insert them into this situation where we aren't good about eating breakfast. We're over caffeinated. We've really prioritized ourselves at the bottom of the list. Everything else is above us. We overstress, we overwork, and then at night, after we've neglected ourselves all day, we overcompensate by eating. So when we try one of these kind of like restrictive diets on top of the fact that we've practiced this, there goes the pen, the sugar and wine diet for so long, it just doesn't work. It's this perfect storm of like restriction and then overdoing it, or we kind of come back with like, hey, I'm gonna overeat now to compensate for the fact that I just eliminated carbs for the past 4 months and I missed them. And so now I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing before this guy, and then the weight comes on even faster. So I tell you this little lesson, not to make you feel guilty, not to make you feel frustrated, but I want you to have some action steps, some things that you can do to step away from this, if this is you. So first action step that you can do to go in the other direction. Don't feel frustrated. This was a slow way to gain weight, and we can go the other way, right? We don't have to do something crazy. We can actually go the other way. So we can go down by just making some of those other changes, the things that we did to create this, we can go the other direction. So here's what you're gonna do. The very first thing that you are going to do is start by eating some kind of balanced breakfast. Balanced breakfast. Even if it's small, that's okay. I want you to start there. So put together, something with some protein in it, a little bit of veggies, some quality carbs, and a little bit of fat. A balanced breakfast is going to set your day in motion. The other thing you're gonna do is you're gonna start your day with water. I wanna challenge you to drink 20 to 30 ounces of water before you even walk out the door. That's gonna help you get hydrated, set the day in motion, take the edge off some of those cravings, right? Then here's your third action step. Third step, desk eating is a no. I want to challenge you to stop eating behind your desk. I know this is a hard one. I'm guilty of this too. This is why I know this stuff, because I know that it's real, because I've felt it myself. If you eat behind the desk, we are just not tuned into it. So we're not gonna feel ourselves get satisfied. We're gonna stuff it down. We might as well just throw it into the abyss of our belly, and then we just get back to work. And so I want to challenge you to do your lunch somewhere else. Go outside, sit in the park and eat. Like if you work at home, go sit at the dining room table. Go sit out on your porch. If you're at work, go ahead and go to the break room and sit. Take that break for you. This is your first 3 steps. First 3 steps to take the sugar and wine diet from the wrong direction and put it in the right direction. And we're gonna take those little bitty pieces of it and we're just gonna adjust them so that they actually help you feel better and help you lose weight in a way that is sustainable, so you can stay away from this. And then you can just tell everybody you did the sugar and wine diet and that you learned it from Christy May Campbell. And then they'll be like, what the heck is that? And you can tell them, well, I started with these 3 things. I started with a balanced breakfast, I started with water, and then I started with not eating behind my desk anymore so that I could be tuned into what I'm actually putting in my mouth. So I want you to tune in to the next episode because I'm going to go over the next 3 steps, okay? To take the sugar and wine diet and turn it into something that actually helps you. And so there's more steps. These are just your first 3. So be sure to come back next week. I'll give you the next steps. Thank you so much for coming to the very first episode. I hope you didn't mind the birds in the background or my crazy frizzy hair. I'm just so pumped that you're here. So thanks. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like and follow and all that good stuff. And if you really like this, share this with a friend because I'm just trying to get this important information out. Talk to you later. Bye.